Hi, I'm Mihal Chamberlain, Massachusetts President for Bank of America. Recently, our company committed an additional $100 million to organizations across the country, many of them right here in Massachusetts, like Love and Spoonfuls, an organization that is helping fight hunger by distributing fresh, healthy food to those in need. We're proud to support this year's Chef-a-Thon and our broader communities. Now enjoy the evening alongside one of Boston's finest chefs.
Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Chef-a-Thon. Thanks to everybody who's been participating this week. It's been so much fun and so great, and I hope all of you who have joined us have found it interesting and fun and have gotten a lot out of the conversations and the cooking demos. I know I have, and I am super, super excited for this one. Tonight, I get to welcome my dear friend, Mike O'Connell. He's from Upper Falls Liquors. He is the personality and the chef behind Rooftop Gourmet. And he seems to just be friends with everybody in hospitality in Boston. Everybody loves Mike and his family. He has been an incredible member of the Friends of Love and Spoonfuls cohort for many, many years. And he's just one of those great guys. And he's been super supportive. And his demo is going to be wonderful. Tonight is going to mark the end of the spaghetti and clams battle. And if you've been with us all week, you know what I mean. It's such a great dish, and it's just been so fun to watch. And tonight's going to be no different. So please make sure to stay tuned after the demo for a little Q&A with Mike. We'll talk about his family, his love of cooking, where it comes from. We might try and take a peek in his fridge and get a sense of what life is like as we all live in this moment. For those of you who are new to the Love and Spoonfuls community, we are a nonprofit food rescue, which means that we take food that's otherwise being thrown away and upcycle it into the social service stream. We work with almost 250 partners to make sure that fresh, healthy food is getting to people who need it when it can't be sold. And it's post-retail, and it might no longer look like it should, but it still has all of the good stuff that makes it nutritious, good for you food. And we want to make sure that we can get that to parts of the community that don't have consistent access. So by being here, by joining events like these, you are supporting our mission and making sure that we can stay on the road and continue to work. So we thank you for your support. I want to thank our sponsors for Chef-a-Thon. Bank of America and Little Leaf Farms have been incredibly supportive to Love and Spoonfuls for a long time, but especially now during the pandemic, as we and so many other nonprofits are struggling. They are incredible community partners. They have terrific leadership, and they have stepped up to make sure that we can continue doing the work that we do, sponsoring events like these and making sure that they are in tune and understand what organizations like us need. So Bank of America, Little Leaf Farms, we thank you. Tonight's going to be a great night. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you after the demo.
Hey guys, my name is Mike O'Connell, and this is my son Ford and my son Wells. How old are you guys?
4 is 3 and I'm 6.
Alright, we're honored today to be cooking for the Chef-a-Thon to support Love and Spoonfuls and all of the restaurants that have been impacted, and the communities and the families that have been impacted by COVID-19. Love and Spoonfuls is an awesome organization. It's a hunger relief food rescue program. So they pick up fresh, healthy food that would normally go to waste, and they deliver it right away to people who need it. I grew up with Ashley, and I've been involved with Love and Spoonfuls. My wife and I are young Love and Spoonfuls members on the board. We help plan the tailgate, and we just try to get some more support from our friends, a younger generation of people who want to help people who are hungry. And you know, it's a perfect organization for me and us because we're very passionate about food, and I'm in the wine business, and it just makes sense. You know, the fact that people are hungry out there it just upsets us, and we want to help make an impact. And today we are going to make
Clam linguine.
linguine alla vongole. Can you say that? No.
Linguine
alla vongole with smoked bacon because we need some bacon,
pancetta.
right? It's not pancetta today, it's some bacon. But that's actually a good transition.
It's fat. It's fat. It's fatter.
It's the belly. So this is a pig's belly. We're actually gonna saute this first, okay?
We're gonna cook bacon.
What I did, basically, I cut some
What's
giant...
gonna go in the boiling water?
Hold on a second. I cut some strips of this slab belly. It's really smoky bacon. Just cut some lardons. Just like this. Okay. Now I'm cooking outside on the Cape, so I've never made pasta in my bathing suit before, but here we are. All right, so pan's hot. Just gonna crisp these up, okay? There's a little twist on the linguine clams. It's way too much for me. All right. I love cooking on vacation, just because you can come off the beach, still covered in sand. Actually, so
nice, relaxing.
What did-
day at the beach.
You're right.
Now you cook,
relaxing. Yeah, built you there.
and now you
Tunnel.
cook.
All right, so where did we get these clams?
We freshly picked them from the ocean ourselves.
So we didn't, but Mommy did, because
And Papa.
Daddy's good at cooking, but Daddy can't really hunt or harvest anything. So anyway, so we just took these giant count necks and cherry stones that we dug up, and we just threw them in a pot of boiling water
And these are
outside
the ones that look like crows.
and steamed them literally just until they opened, and then we shucked them so we can chop them up, because these ones are just too big and too tough to throw right in the pasta. So just gonna mince these up, dice them up. 'Cause these have the flavor, but they're not small like little necks, which we'll use later. So even if you don't like seafood and you want to make a great pasta dish, this is the secret. This is called pangrattato.
I like breadcrumbs.
So in Italy, pangrattato is a toasted seasoned breadcrumb that's super crispy. Yeah, try it. Look
Okay.
it. So I
They're very
basically
good.
just melted a stick of butter, tossed in some panko, seasoned it with salt, pepper, lemon zest, and some sea salt, and some parsley. But it just adds that crunch to pasta that really adds texture to the dish. So hopefully my bacon's getting crispy.
It is.
You guys like bacon?
Yeah, I love bacon.
How many bacon, egg, and cheeses have we had this vacation so far?
10.
Yep.
10.
All right.
Mommy, I know how to make them. I can see it better on the camera, like when you're adding it.
Yeah.
If you do 5 and 5, 10.
It makes 10. Bacon's getting crispy. These lardons are hopefully getting crispy. All right. So we got our pasta boiling over here. I've never made pasta in a lobster pot like this before. But I gotta wait till my bacon gets crispy. Guys, what are some of your... Hey, do you guys like to cook?
Yes.
What are some of your favorite things to cook?
I like brisket. I liked making the fire on the green egg.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So ever since they were super little, I felt it was important to really involve them in the cooking process, even the shopping process, just because we wanted them to know like where food comes from. But can you
Okay.
guys help me pick some of these parsley leaves, please?
Oh, we did this the last one.
Yep. So pick the parsley leaves, not the stems, and just make a little pile right here, okay? Just a little pile.
This time we don't have a bowl. Yep. I want to taste one.
So guys, these are pretty done. I need you to put some little neck clams in here. Can you do that? This is hot. Grab some little necks, pop them right in. You know what? I just realized I didn't get any garlic.
Nah,
Guys, we need garlic, right?
I know.
Watch your hand. You don't want to burn yourself like last night.
I know.
like-
I got.
All right. Probably like one more. That's it. Actually, that's perfect. That's perfect. Oh! You know what we're gonna do with this one? Okay, see you later. See you later. All right. All right, guys, we missed a step. We gotta get the garlic in because linguine alla vongole, you need garlic, okay? If you don't have a razor blade like Tony Soprano, you gotta get a sharp knife. You know who Tony Soprano is?
No.
I don't think so.
I've seen Iron Chef.
Yeah? All right, so we're just gonna razor blade slice these garlic.
Daddy, you know what my favorite Iron Chef was?
What?
The one with the trout. That's how I started eating trout.
What about this one? This is like Iron Chef.
I know, cause you every time you should cook a different dish.
All right, razor thin. Razor thin. Can't have enough garlic with linguine, right?
No.
How much pan grattato are you gonna eat?
What is in there with the whole bowl?
Absolute carb monster. 10. Look how crispy that
There's
is.
10 in your hand, cause
Woo!
you can't like. What's
Woo!
a spoonful of that?
All right, you need a spoon with that. Pour some milk over it. Cereal. That's what the Italians do. All right, now get this garlic in. All right. So, we chopped up some of the clams. Let's throw these guys in. Boop. Okay. Let that garlic toast a little bit. Hit it with a little olive oil. What we're gonna do, I know we have a zester, but sometimes when I like to garnish linguine with clams, I like to take
Make it a little tart.
long strings of lemon
Ooh, that's
that look like noodles. Just because you get like a big lemon skin noodle stringy thing in your pasta.
You can see the inside of the lemon where
You can
squeeze.
twirl it up with your noodles. So basically I'm just cutting off the pith into...
What's the pith?
The pith is the white part of the citrus.
Why do you
It's-
want to cut off?
Because it's kind of bitter. So what you're left with is just like this beautiful
Yellow
lemon.
skin.
Smell
I
that.
smell. I smell.
What does it smell like?
It smells like lemon because it's on a lemon.
Well, it's the lemon skin. Now watch this. Make some angel hair.
What's that? Like, oh, you're cutting. I can see, like, I
So
can
now
see straight
you got these
lines
beautiful
on
garnish.
them. They look like noodles.
They do. Lemon noodles. All right, here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Almost time to cook the pasta. Almost time to cook the pasta. All right, we're gonna hit this with a little wine, just to get those clams open. Okay.
What is that? Olive oil or water?
No. Hey, can you guys come down and put the salt in the pasta water for me, please?
Yes, yes.
Pop down.
Oh, sorry.
What? All right, ready? Big hunks, because you want this to taste like the sea. Okay? Don't get too close. One more handful from 40.
What do you get one?
All right, that's enough. Okay. All right, so you really want some salty water. It should taste like the ocean. My biggest thing about linguine and vongole, I cannot stand when it just comes in a like liquid, like watery with noodles. You have to make an emulsion. So to do that, you're gonna make an emulsion with butter, bacon fat, and salted or like starchy pasta water. Because once the pasta goes in there, that salty water takes all the starch off the pasta noodles, and it helps thicken everything. Okay. So linguine alla vongole is actually the first dish that my wife ever made me when we were dating. I went to her apartment in
On your
Brighton.
honeymoon?
No, long before that. We were dating, and I went to her apartment in Brighton, and it was like 94 degrees, and we ate outside on the porch with no AC, and we had this linguine alla vongole, and it was okay. It wasn't as good as mine, but the fact that she made that on the first date was pretty awesome. So, all right, guys, need a hotter grill. But, so hopefully those start to open. I'm gonna keep them shut. Let's get the pasta going. We're only gonna cook the pasta about halfway. Ready for this? That looks like enough.
Can I pour it out? Can I dump it in?
I always cook way too much pasta.
Can I dump it in?
Doesn't mommy always say you cooking way too much pasta?
Can I
But
dump
then who eats it? Ford's gonna do it. Ford's the pasta man, okay? No, not one by one. You're gonna hold it like a baseball bat, okay? You're gonna drop it in there. Ready? Go. Good boy.
Can I do the next sample?
Yeah, after this. So, we're only gonna cook the pasta about halfway. It's still gonna be raw.
Because you don't want it to be too soft.
So we're gonna take the noodles, half cooked, pop them right in here, and finish cooking them in this like clammy broth with the bacon and the garlic and everything. These guys are starting to open a little bit. You don't want to overcook them, so this guy's opening a little bit. So the pasta's been in long enough that I'm gonna actually grab a ladle and add even a little bit more starchy pasta water to this. A ladle looks like this.
Oh, you mean like they use that for soup?
Right. So, this is important. You can't throw away the starchy pasta water, or else you're just gonna have like soup. Okay. I'm just gonna keep, almost like risotto, you keep adding stock and stock and stock. I just keep adding and refreshing with pasta water as it reduces. Hopefully it reduces more. So being in the wine business, I'll talk about what would pair with this. Classic, like bone-dry whites with tons of acidity. You know, Sauvignon Blanc, Sancerre,
Chevron Blanc.
Siobhan Blanc. That's what we call my wife. Her name is Siobhan, but she's now Siobhan Blanc. That would be a perfect pairing, actually. Good job. Pasta's cooking. All right, here we go. Here we go. Pasta's cooking. Let's see.
It's getting softer.
We gotta try it. Is it halfway done?
Let me try it. I'll try it.
All right. Well, I don't want to burn your face. Hold on. Right?
Can I try?
Hot.
Can I try?
Yeah. How is that? Still pretty hard, right?
I know. It's not fully cooked.
But it's almost ready to pull out. Ready?
I know because the outside is smooth. Can I do it too? Can I do it too? Yeah.
You goober. Get out of your nose. Don't put the pasta in your nose.
Dad,
What do you think? I'm gonna grill the spaghetti?
I never had grilled spaghetti.
Neither have I, but
What?
it sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
I know. The pasta usually boils.
Don't normally cook pasta outside like this, but here we are. 40. What's your favorite shape of pasta?
The crown one.
The what?
The crown one.
What do you like?
Mommy's favorite kind.
Ziti, farfalle, orchietti.
You want me to tell you my favorite
Okay.
pasta?
All right, we're going in.
You
Right
want
in.
to tell my favorite pasta?
Sure.
So my favorite pasta is.
We'll do another scoop of this. Look how
I mean,
foamy and starchy this is. That is the key. And then they add tons of butter. Because
Christina with cheese.
cheese. Who makes you that?
My Nana, she makes it. She doesn't make it too cheesy. She makes it a little bit dry. It's just better.
Nana, step your pastina game up. All right, here we go. So movement is key here. Shaking this around because the fat melts. You want to blend in with everything else. The starchy water, you're gonna make a sauce. If this pot can get hot enough, we can do it. Look at that, they're all open now. I have to shut this and just pray. Ready? I'm gonna shut this and pray. Woo! We gotta go. All right, here we go, guys. Come with me. Can I get a pot holder
Are those
too?
the shells? Pot holders?
Guys,
What is a pot?
this is
Daddy.
exactly what I
Daddy.
didn't want to do, but here we are. All right, this is gonna be a smoky vongole.
Daddy.
Yeah, but that's wet. Don't throw it over the fire.
Why?
All right, see, now this is gonna start boiling, which is what we want. Because the pasta needs to cook more. This sauce needs to reduce.
Do you want this?
Oh.
It's not good.
So right now, if you didn't have, well, I guess you could, but if you didn't have clams in here and you just had pasta and you wanted to like make an emulsion a lot faster, you throw in some Parmesan cheese or some Pecorino Romano.
So you want it to
Start
be...
shaking it up because there's fat in that dairy, and that's gonna make it even more emulsified
So
quicker.
you want it, like, if it was too creamy, you wanted it richer?
Yeah. So with clams, you don't want to throw in cheese. Okay.
Why? Yeah.
It is,
Sea salt and cheese doesn't make it.
well, it's too briny. You probably could, but that would kind of be cheating. You want to make a nice. Look at that. See it bubbling right there? That's just like clam juice, bacon fat, butter, and starchy pasta water.
Need to know
Okay.
that when it boils. Hey, Daddy, have you forgot our secret?
What's our secret?
Should I tell you later?
Wait till after the video, okay?
Wait,
This is actually
I need
looking
to
really
tell
good
you.
right now.
Remember Ford whistles the timer when
Oh yeah,
it's done?
Ford. When the pasta's done, so this is what we always do. When the pasta's done, we have Ford, who learned how to whistle. He whistles when the pasta's done. Fordy, can you whistle? Pasta's done. Do it again. Perfect. That means the pasta's done. All right. Oh. We're almost there. Give me my goggles here. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Wellesley, go grab me that bowl of parsley, quick. Hold on. Ready? You don't have to do this. You can really just cook it like a normal human being on the stove. All right. I need this bowl. Here we go. We're plating. We're plating. Ready? Move this. Move this. We're plating. All right. Guys, you ready? Here we go. Ready? Pasta coming in. Ford, move your head. Stand up, please.
Yay, pasta!
Yeah. Give me a whistle. Pasta's done. All right, now ready. Look at that sauce. It's gonna get. Look at that. See that? You need that emulsion right there.
Where?
Otherwise,
Where, the
your
shells?
linguine is just literally sitting in nothing. All right,
Well,
now.
why you need the shells?
Well, the shells have so much flavor in them. Now
Coming
look.
from the clam.
Pangrattato. Give me some of this.
Can I try?
All over it. All over it. Don't cover it. Just sprinkle it from up high. Remember, you always have to sprinkle from up high?
Why?
All right, that's good. That's enough. Now, also, this bread's gonna thicken the sauce a little bit too. Okay? As it like congeals and mixes together. Look at this. Oh my God. There we go. Now we got these little lemon strings. Pop some of these babies on there. Okay? Look at this. That's just brightness, lemony food.
It doesn't taste too sour. It tastes bitter.
Yeah, because it's not the fruit, it's the
Can I
pith.
taste it?
Now look over here, ready? We are done. Look at this. Hold on. How's that look? That is linguine alla vongole
What are we gonna do with these?
with double smoked bacon.
What are we gonna do with these?
We're gonna eat them
Well, why didn't we cook them at all?
because we're cooking those later. All right, ready? Here we go, guys.
That
40.
one did not taste good.
40, here we go.
Plus,
Here we go, buddy. Let me
Can I
see your.
try some?
So Ford actually is a master slurper.
I just learned how to slurp.
I know, but Ford actually is a master slurper. Ready? See if that's hot. But how crunchy are those breadcrumbs?
Good.
They're good on the pasta, isn't it?
I tasted one. They're really
Bite it. Bite it. Now slurp. Look at this guy.
Can I taste one?
Fastest slurper in New Seabury right now. Look at. Slurp
It's
it.
not.
He's got a log jam in there. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Didn't slurp it at all.
All right, you want to try a clam? Guys, we're honored to be cooking for Loving Spoonfuls. This has been fun. Thank you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this chaotic experiment, but yeah, donate to Loving Spoonfuls. You know, help people out.
Are we gonna do like 10 of these?
I think we're done.
Are we gonna do 10?
No, hopefully not. Hopefully this works. Ready? Goodbye.
Mike, hi.
What's up?
Nothing. This is so awesome. And your demo was so amazing. And
Thank you.
vongole is like my favorite dish. So I took that very personally in a super awesome way. So thank you for making that.
Of course. Thank you.
I feel like everybody knows you and everybody knows how much you love food and wine and how much you know food and wine. And I mean, you and I go way back to the Wellesley days. But where did that come from? Where did all the food and wine, like the love for food and the community around food, where did all that come from?
I keep trying to pinpoint that, and I can't really go back in time and figure it out, but I think it came just because I grew up in Wellesley with you, and, you know, my family wasn't very adventurous in terms of eating. And looking back, I wasn't really either. I was the most simple, plain person ever. It was like pasta and butter, pizza. It was like,
Okay, you're like me now. Somewhere Tony Messina is having a heart attack because I only used to go in and be like, I don't want anything on your menu. I just want pasta and butter.
I don't really, I went to college, and I think I just fell in love with eating. Like I went out to dinner to different restaurants. I tried different cuisines. Like, I was introduced to people at college that were eating sushi, and I was like, oh my God, what is sushi? Like, and, you know, I just kind of like became engulfed in like, just like trying new things. And like, it just became a passion for me. So I don't really know what really pinpointed it, but I don't know. I mean, it just kind of grew and grew. I graduated college, and I said, you know what, I'm not ready to go into finance or, you know, all this other stuff that my friends were doing. And I said, you know what, I just want to be creative and go to culinary school, and see where that takes me. So I kind of just started working at a restaurant and going to culinary school and like meeting new people and learning new techniques. And I just became so fascinated. And, you know, thankfully I left the restaurant business quickly after about a year and a half, 2 years. But, thankfully I had my family background is, the wine business, and, you know, food and wine kind of went hand in hand. And luckily I had that to fall back on, and it just kind of helped me, you know, teach myself, learn from other people, go into restaurants, just like be a sponge and soak up all this information. And even to this day, I just always want to learn about every single possible thing when it comes to food, wine, hospitality, everything.
It shows. I mean, I can't say I went to culinary school, but I did a curriculum at Cambridge Culinary a couple of years ago, and I look at Rooftop Gourmet, I look at everything that you post and everything that you do, and there is something different about how you experience food and how you communicate about it, because the things that you come up with feel so genius and like so not available to people who just like to dabble around in the kitchen. And that, I mean, that feels so significant.
It's genuine. I mean, I'm truly, that's all I think about. Like, other than my kids and my family, like, I'm constantly thinking about like, what can I do with this ingredient? Like, what can I do that no one's done? Or where can I get inspiration from, you know, the chefs that you work with, or the restaurants that I love to eat at, or magazines or TV shows. And I'm like, you know, other than trying to be a good dad and a husband and, you know, fool around with my kids, it's like food and wine is on my mind all the time, and I just like want to like learn as much as I possibly can, and try new things basically.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome. Upper Falls and
Yes.
Post Road, and there's more, right?
Yeah. So my family has 4 retail wine stores. My grandparents came over from Parma. My great grandparents came over from Parma, and they opened up a like Italian market and butcher shop in Auburndale, where my grandfather grew up working at. And he, turned that into, got a liquor license, turned it into a liquor store, and then started buying, liquor licenses in the 70s. And, I'm proud to, be the 3rd generation, running the family business, buying wine, selling wine, all that stuff. So we have 2 stores in Newton, one in Wayland, and one in Needham now.
That's so awesome. And I mean, I'm not a drinker anymore, but my wife is, and obviously all of our friends who love the good stuff and everything that goes along with that. You guys really have a pretty incredible reach. And I mean, I remember you were able to source an incredible bottle for me for my for wedding gifts, and it's sort of incredible to see. And I didn't even know that about your family and coming over from Parma, but it's really incredible to see that you are just so dialed in, and you really dove into the history behind it and what it means to be in the community.
Yeah, I mean, we really try to do it all. I mean, we're full service liquor stores. I mean, I don't like to think of myself as like an old school packy, but we have evolved
You
with
mean
the
you're not
time.
Jackie's Tacky?
Thanks to my brother and I, the next generation, we've come into this century, and we've updated what we do. So I mean, we do everything from catering. We have specialty wines, craft beers, all the fancy liquors. We do events, we do dinners. I host wine dinners, I cook for wine dinners. And, I mean, my brother, even out in Wayland, buys personal cellars and brokers sellers, trying to, buy wines from auction and stuff and reselling them for, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's, we really try to do it all, whether it's the extreme, whether you want to, fill your wine cellar with like, first growth Bordeaux, or you want to, load up on, Bud Light kegs for your party. We can do everything.
You guys are a Renaissance liquor shop.
Yeah.
For all of it.
But we have, we're not going to like be snobby and stuff, but like if you want to come in and like pair wines for a dinner party, we'll do it. If you want to just like buy some cheap stuff for sangria, I'm not going to talk you out of it.
Well, I mean, you guys have even been, I mean, you've been super generous with Love and Spoonfuls, but you and Brad Wasik over at the Cheese Shop, you guys, I mean, we've known each other for like 20, 30 years now, and you guys are donating combined wine and cheese parties. And they're not just wine and cheese parties. They are incredibly curated culinary events that go right up there on our auction block with the chefs that we have participating at Tailgate and Chef's Table and all of that. So yeah, you guys for sure do it all.
Yeah, Brad is a close friend of mine, and he's an absolute psychopath just like me.
That's
And
why I love you guys.
I mean, I don't care whether you bid $15 or $15,000, we're going to make the most insane experience for you, because that's just how we are. Like, I mean, we're going to go over the top, and we want you to be to walk away from a dinner or an experience or a wine and cheese tasting and just be like, what just happened to me? Like, I once saw Brad Wasik spend $400 at an open bar. That's how over the top he is.
Amazing.
He's just crazy.
And you've been involved with Spoonfuls for a while, and I feel like already as a chef, which I consider you to be, you're already of the mindset of use everything, save everything. How do you upcycle within your own sort of kitchen and your own pantry? What do you find yourself like making the most? What do you guys have the most that gets turned into like a second and a third meal?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I don't know. We don't, to be honest, my boys are absolutely ravenous. And I don't, to be honest, even though I like make too much food, it somehow disappears.
That's awesome.
I mean, but like, little things like, even if I'm just cutting up broccoli, I'm going to pickle the stems, or I'm going to roast the stems, or I'm going to use leftover bread to make breadcrumbs. Like tonight we did like a clean up the fridge, dump like one roasting pan dinner, just because we came back from vacation. We had some green beans, we had some sausages, we had like half a loaf of bread. We literally just made like roasted sausages with onions, garlic, green beans, and like giant ripped croutons, and like it was
delicious.
Yeah, and my kids just literally dove in and inhaled everything. So I mean, I try to instill into them that like, let's not waste anything. They know about Loving Spoonfuls because that's all we do is talk about it. And like they see me doing these projects and they're like, why aren't you throwing those, stems away? Or why aren't you, I don't know. Why are you saving those carrot scraps? I don't know, because I'm gonna, dehydrate them and dry them into a carrot powder. It's just things that I can't help. I don't know. I want to do all sorts of weird stuff, but
it's awesome. And I feel like they are already getting exposed to, I mean, I still only want to eat spaghetti and butter and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Wells and Ford are eating in a phenomenally advanced way, and their palates are so much more developed than like mine will ever be.
It's scary. I mean, they still love like, pasta with butter, and so do I, but when we're, cutting into an elk loin and they're eating like, foraged morel mushroom stuffed with like unpasteurized cheese, they're into it. They love it because I get excited about it. They see my excitement and they're like, oh, you got this, you got a deer? We're gonna eat a deer. I'm like, they're crazy.
They are hilarious, and they were awesome. I could not get over Ford with the breadcrumbs.
Oh God. The two of them are so different. Ford is like, Wells is my carnivore. He'll eat meat like you've never seen. And, it's meat and bread and carbs, and Ford is like a vegetarian, and he likes meat, but he will just like eat, a head of cabbage, like in like 20 minutes. And you're like, what? It's like the weirdest thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Out of all the stuff Wells did a great job explaining Loving Spoonfuls. They have come to our volunteer days at the office. Out of all the things that you guys are so involved in, because Siobhan is super involved in the community too, and you guys have your hands in so many different things. What is it about Spoonfuls that keeps you guys so engaged and that makes it such a priority for you?
I mean, I first learned about Loving Spoonfuls, I think. I was trying to think about it today. It had to have been about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Loving Spoonfuls until I started, I was, single, living in Southie, but loved to cook, and just started like meeting my wife, and another chef that you're friendly with, Louis DiBicchiari, started doing
I know that guy.
Chef Louis nights.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, this seems fun. Like I want to learn from some of these. I'm like, wow, there's some big time chefs cooking at these, fun events. So I started buying VIP tickets and just going and
So I have you
spending.
to thank for Lovin' Spoonful's longevity. All the early VIP ticket holders.
Yeah, I mean, I was buying VIP tickets to Chef Louis
Chef Louis
nights,
night.
and I was like, making pig ear terrines with Dougie Rodriguez and
Oh
Brandon
my
Arms and
God.
Sammy Mansour and Jamie Bissonette would come and drink with us and hang out, and like I spent hours in the kitchen just kind of like, I don't know, just learning from them and kind of messing around, and that's when I kind of became involved a little bit more in the industry and like became friendly with these guys, and all these events were like, oh, Lovin' Spoonfuls, and I just started learning about what you guys do. And a lot of my other friends at the time, were starting to get involved with charities, and I was becoming an adult, and I was like, thinking about what made sense for me, and my passion for food and wine and everything, and it just made sense. Like hunger's a big issue for me, and it just kind of struck a chord.
And I think about, growing up here. I'm from Wellesley, you're from Wellesley, Pierce is from Wellesley, Brad's not, but he works there. So he counts, he can stay. But all of our lives have sort of like intersected around food and around this community. And yeah, it's been 10 years because this is Spoonful's 10th year in business. And
Wow.
in those 10 years, so much has happened. And all of a sudden, here we are at the intersection of COVID and of this moment that we're all living through, focused as it should be on George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and the platform that has. And we talk at work so much about what do we do to not only provide the service that we provide, but to make sure that we share our platform and we do as much as we can to elevate our communities and folks we serve and folks we work with. And I always wonder, I mean, it terrifies me. Kelly and I are moving in, a couple weeks, and, we're starting family in a couple of years. And this is such a moment where I'm so curious how parents are talking to their kids about everything that's going on, and especially coming from what we came from and living in this community now. What has that been like for you guys?
I mean, it's daunting. It really is. I mean, my oldest son is 6, my youngest is 3. We want to talk to them about stuff, and my youngest, I think, knows a lot more than we think. But we try to shield him a little bit about what's going on, but it's something we have to talk to the kids about. And I mean, even Siobhan and I, we grew up in Wellesley, where we have white privilege. Like we're trying to learn ourselves, like and learn ways. We're trying to learn ways that we can be better ourselves, let alone teach our kids. So it's it's a little daunting, but it's we have good kids, and we can sit down and chat with them. We're in a time where, like, we're young enough, and we're not like set in our ways. Like we are adapting on the fly right now. It's like I'm relearning things that I grew up with. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's eye-opening, to be honest with you. And we're fortunate that we are educated and privileged that we can learn about this stuff easily. And like it's hard to try to communicate to our kids who don't have the background of like what's going on. So I'm trying to explain Black Lives Matter, and I'm just saying it's just it's everybody all together fighting for humanity. I think it's better to talk about it with the young kids than it is to just wait till they're older, because I feel like I didn't learn anything about race or until it was like Martin Luther King, and like middle school or high school or whatever. It was like, I don't know. I just feel like it's important now. I mean, young kids are smart. I mean, they soak up everything. They know everything. Like, now's the time to teach the young kids about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in awe of you guys, because I can't imagine how hard those conversations are, and I know how curious and involved your kids are. And I mean, like you said, I don't know that, I don't even know that what was in our history books was complete. It wasn't. And
No.
there were milestones and benchmarks that didn't give us context or history or what we needed to know to understand sort of the roots of the systemic,
Yeah.
injustices and inequities. And even for me now and my colleagues at work, I think we're all understanding in different ways. And COVID has certainly brought systemic inequity to the forefront in a way that we might not have been able to point out, if only because we talk about demographics and folks who are disproportionately affected by poverty and economic, injustice and inequity. And then you talk about healthcare, and now we're finally having a conversation about, food as medicine and proper health as a vehicle for actual social justice.
Yeah.
But tying everything together and understanding how it came to be that no matter what, Black and brown people are disproportionately affected in such a massive way. And now we see it with COVID, and it's like, boom, because at some point COVID will pass.
Yeah.
But the effects and the folks who have been hit the hardest and either have fallen below, that line of security, or who are sitting sort of right on it, those consequences are going to last for years after COVID does.
Totally. And,
So
and I hate to say that, like,
to sort of dismantle it.
I hate to say that, like, COVID is a blessing, but like it kind of is in a way where, like,
Yeah.
if this Black Lives Matter thing was happening, like, if it started steamrolling, like, without a global pandemic, I feel like it would be easier to sweep under the rug and just, like, forget about it and say, okay, that passed. But the fact that everyone is, like, out of work, they're home, they're with their families, they're watching the news, like, it's sad that we have a global pandemic, but it's almost in a good way. I feel like it brings these human right issues more to the forefront and more in your face, and you can't not talk about it. And I feel like it's more impactful now than if it was just a regular work day and people are going to work and they shut the news off and that's it.
Agree. It's like we are being forced by some power greater than ourselves to stop and take a look and say, is this really how you want to continue? And I hope all of us are saying, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such an intense moment. And we come back to sort of the central theme of how you and I have gotten to know each other, and how Spoonfuls has crossed paths with your family and your business and all of our mutual friends. And we really talk about food as being, the sort of central figure in what builds a community. And our friends who have restaurants are suffering, and folks who don't get to go to their restaurants are suffering. And how do we figure out how to bring it all together? And for me, I think it comes back that food is sort of the most fundamental human experience we can have. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like, what your background is, what's in your bank account, or what you have or what you don't have. Food is uniquely biological and uniquely human.
Exactly. That's why I love it, and that's why I've been, obsessed with it and obsessed with Loving Spoonfuls and, everything that you guys do. It's just, food to me is it's everything. You know, making people happy, serving them food, whether it's, you know, I don't care whether I'm walking down the street handing someone who's homeless, you know, half my sandwich, or whether I'm serving a 12-course dinner party. Like, it's just one reaction. You just want to see people, you want to make people happy. And you can do that with food. And you don't need money, you don't need anything else. You just need, you know, it's basic. And every human should have that right to not be hungry.
I feel like that's a perfect place to leave it. Otherwise, we're just going to go on, and I'm going to start begging you for a dinner invitation in the middle of COVID. I so appreciate your time.
Of course.
Thank you. And thanks for being
Ashley.
so good to Spoonfuls, and for being so good in the community, and just being a good dude.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Good night.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
Bye. That was awesome. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I want to thank Mike for his incredible demo, for such a great conversation. And I want to thank all of you for joining us this week and tonight, for supporting our work. Just by being here, you're making sure that we can stay on the road and continue to recover fresh, healthy food and get it to those who need it. I want to thank everybody who participated this week, our entire culinary board, really the entire hospitality community, for making sure that Love and Spoonfuls always has the support that we need, and we want to continue to be able to do the same for you. I especially want to thank our sponsors, again, Bank of America and Little Leaf Farms. Both companies have stepped up in an incredible way to make sure that this event can happen. So thank you to them. If you'd like to make a donation to Love and Spoonfuls, there will be a link in the chat box right on your screen that will take you to our donation page, or feel free to go to our website or to reach out to us over email. Please stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, and I hope that we can all see each other soon. Thank you so much.